Wins TV. We are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2024, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your preview show looking ahead to Saturday's game against Coventry City at the Den. Some will say it is must win. It would be nice to get the W's back instead of keep seeing these consistent draws. As always, let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that Neil Harris might pick to start the match. Okay, so before we get into what team will Neil Harris pick, let's look at who's not available. Lots and lots of players missing up front. Of course, Josh Coburn limps out of the game against Oxford, and we've been told since that he'll be around 8 weeks out with a metatarsal injury. But our problems are a little bit further back, although everyone's banging on about who should play up front and who should be scoring goals and who should be starting. At the back, we've got a few issues. Obviously, Jake Cougar is injured and he's around 8 weeks-ish away now. I'd say it was 10 originally. Sean Hutchinson injured. Japhet Tanganga suspended, is leaving us very, very light at the back. So what will the gaffer do? Now, again, I'm going to say it for the fucking brainiacs out there. I'm going to give you two teams, okay? I'm going to give you the team that I think Neil Harris will pick, and it's not the team that I will pick. I'm going to give you the team that I think the gaffer will pick on Saturday. And then after that, I'm going to give you the team that I would pick on Saturday. Two different opinions. The first team is going to be, I'll say it again, which I think Neil Harris will pick, and then I'll get into my team. So, this is what I think the gaffer's going to do. I think it will be Lucas Jensen in goal, Danny McNamara right back, Ryan Leonard central defence with Murray Wallace and Joe Bryan at left back. Then I think it will be Casper Dinor and George Saville in the centre of midfield. I think it will be SA on one wing. I think it will be Aziz on the other. And then I think the gaffer will pick George Honeyman in a 10, and up front as a lone striker, Tom Bradshaw. That is the team, I'm going to say it one more time, that I think Neil Harris will pick. He's a creature of habit. He knows who he thinks he can trust. He'll point to the fact that we're in very good form at the Den, and we are currently in good form in general and are 9 unbeaten in the division. It will frustrate me if that's his starting 11, but I think for the final time, that is the team that Neil Harris will pick. Okay, now I'm going to tell you the team that I would pick. Lucas Jensen in goal, Danny McNamara right back, Ryan Leonard and Wes Harding as a central defence pairing with Joe Bryan at left back. Then I'll stick with Casper Dinor and George Saville in the centre of midfield. Romain Esse in a 10, Aziz on one wing, Idemo Maku on the other, and as a central striker, Macaulay Langstaff. That is the team that I would pick. I wouldn't put Bradshaw in it, and I wouldn't put Honeyman in it for many reasons, and something else to throw into the mix. The under-21s played on Tuesday. Billy Mitchell got 90 minutes in the tank. Daniel Kelly played in the game. Adam Mayer and Idemo Maku. But, and I'm just throwing it out there, I don't know anything, but Ivanovic started in that game and scored 2 goals. So has the gaffer given him minutes with a view to starting him up front on Saturday at the Den? I know a lot of you want to go 4-4-2. I believe that the team that I've put out there can be equally, if not, well, more effective going forward by playing one up front. I think there's a way of doing it where we can create even more chances. And instead of just relying on shipping balls in the box with Esse, Amaku and Aziz buzzing in behind Langstaff, I believe Langstaff could get fed a lot of opportunities to score goals. And I do think he deserves his chance. I don't think he ever deserves to get taken out of the side. He started to find his feet. He scored a goal. He got 2 other assists. And he was looking a little bit like a younger version of Tom Bradshaw and a complete striker. I feel that Bradshaw's getting thrown to the wolves a bit by Neil Harris, and he's heavily strapped up at the minute. So, in my opinion, it might be a good idea to drop Bradshaw out and let's see what Langstaff can do. 2 up front, I don't think the gaffer's going to do it at home. He hasn't done it yet at home this season. He done it at Stoke away, and he was going to do it at Portsmouth away. But that at the Den at the minute is yet to be seen, And I personally, again, this is my opinion on what I think Neil Harris's mindset is. I think he thinks that's going to be too much of a risk to trust Langstaff and Ivanovic to go 4-4-2, go all out attack against Coventry and lead the line. So there you go, two teams. The one I think Harris will pick, which I don't agree with, and the one that I will pick, which I think is a very, very strong side, very attack-minded, lots of creativity, lots of pace, lots of rawness, and lots of invention to try and create chances from a Courtney Langstaff. Let's move on to our opposition, as we've already mentioned. It's Coventry City. Managed by, it's a bit rich if I call him Fat Frank, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. Fat Frank Lampard, he got appointed as their new manager, and it's been met with a very mixed bag by the Sky Blues fans. Of course, he succeeds Mark Robins, who was, up until the point he left the club very recently, the longest serving manager in the division. And Lampard brings with him as his number 2 ex-Millwall manager Joe Edwards. People said to me last night on the live stream, I'll link that in at the end by the way, we did the Den debate last night for the first time in about 2 months. Do I think Edwards will get shit? No, I think the focus will be very much on Fat Frank, and I don't feel that if he did get shit, it'll be very warranted. I feel quite sorry for Joe Edwards. I do think it was right manager, wrong time. I think he's a very good coach. I know the players liked him as a coach, but he is now Frank Lampard's number 2. This will be their second game. It will be their first one away from, I was going to say Highfield Road. It's definitely not called that anymore. It's another stadium, Ricoh Arena, in which they drew 2-2 and got a late equaliser, I think, for the penalty spot against Cardiff. Coventry are without a win in their last 5 league games, drawing 3 and losing 2. And last time out was that aforementioned draw against Cardiff at home. So they're coming to the Den not in the greatest form, and with a brand spanking new manager in Fat Frank. It sees Coventry sitting 16th in the table, 6 places and 7 points behind us. A win for them would close the gap, of course it would, but that's not going to happen. Hopefully, a win for us will see us within touching distance once again of the top 6 with a game in hand. Let's move on to a prediction. And so, this is your pre-match prediction, and here we go. We're going to win this game by 1-0. Romain Esse is going to get the goal. He's going to play Honeyman in the 10. He's going to play Bradshaw up front, and at 90 minutes, when you're all singing Super Neil, he's going to go, what's the fucking fuss all about? Leave it to me. I'm the gaffer. Get in your lane and let's crack on towards the top 6. So I'm going for a 1-0 win in SE16 with Romain Esse to get the goal. And so that's it for this preview show. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you watch the channel regularly, you're probably thinking, hang on, mate, you're supposed to have surgery today. I have mentioned this. Yes, I was supposed to be having surgery today. I was supposed to be having surgery about 6 times over the last 3.5 years. However, they keep cancelling on me. So I'll be at the Den on Saturday, live streaming. My operation is now booked in for New Year's Eve. So fucking Happy New Year to me when it happens, if it happens. But for now, the videos go on, and I will see you in beautiful South Bermondsey if you're going on Saturday. If you're not, then I'll be live streaming from around the 2:40 PM mark. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.